Hey there everyone, what's up and welcome to my first video on Patreon. I apologize if the quality of this video does not hold up to the expectations that you have. This is going to be a rough draft video. I've done what I'm going to do. I've done in one-on-one, uh, you know, 30-minute sessions with individuals. Um, the topic for today I'm going to use are supers. And the first video is just going to cover ratings on supers. Now, this is a personal rating system. Nothing fancy, super in-depth. I'll give out the ratings on what supers I think are the best right now as of uh, June 8th, 2018. What's currently being used the most, what I've seen. Normally, what I've seen used, I may not use it all the time. I personally use an Arc Strider all the time. So I may not, I may not be running all the other subclasses in the game, but I've seen some really good stuff. And this is based on just what I've used and what's been used against me and what I would rate it. So let me go ahead and dive right into the topic. First off, we are going with the super ratings. And right now, I think and this is all situational, so the number one super that I've seen used, and probably the number one super out there right now is Arc Strider. Arc Strider is widely used, super popular. The class has become very popular ever since, what has it been now? Two big updates, one big update, two big updates. It's been hot for months. A lot of people switched. A lot of people were using Hunter, Arc Strider. I really don't remember the patch, but that's besides the point. It's just really hot right now. It lasts a very long time. It's quick. It can quickly open now with one of the updates. When you pop your super, you have a reduced time to actually get your guy to attack upon animation. Very powerful. And then I would put the Dawn Blade in there. Now the Dawn Blade is very versatile. It's been very good for quite a while now. Its strong point is that once it gets in the sky, it can technically stay there till the super's out. And now you're just throwing projectiles that one shot a lot of things. It has the two-shot supers, but the projectiles can be so fast that you can get two off before they get into cover, cut a corner depending on the super you're going against. And you may actually come out 9 times out of 10 on top. And then I think I would put hammers in there as well. Hammers are pretty powerful. It's another roaming super. It's on the Titan class. It doesn't have the same mobility as in air as the Dawn Blade does during its super, but Titan's always had decent air mobility in Destiny. One of the biggest things that makes this class really strong is the buff to the hammers. I believe they buffed them. And if they didn't, people just discovered it. But I'm pretty sure it was a buff, and I apologize for the lack of my knowledge on that. But they buffed the hammers. The explosions on the hammers, the skill tree, that you throw a hammer, and it does an explosion. That's super powerful. That one-shot supers, if you catch them with the hammer, it one-shots any super. Catch them with the hammer, and they explode around them, you gotta kill. It's versatile indoors. It's versatile outdoors. I would almost put that as the number one super, but because it relies on personal aim to use that, I wouldn't put it as the number one spot. And I wouldn't put it above Dawn Blade either. Just because the Dawn Blade may not be able to one-shot, but it's still a lot more versatile. And then we have Sentinels. I don't personally use Defender too much. But I've seen a lot of good plays. Every once in a while I've used it. I would say the Sentinel Shield, not the Ward of Dawn, not the Bubble Titan, which is still decent. But I think the hottest subclass right now, one of the hottest subclasses, is the Sentinel Shields. You see a lot of Arc Striders out there. In fact, you just see a lot of Hunters, period. There's a helmet out there that everyone just plays on. You shade step to get your life back. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've used it. If you haven't used it, You're lying. I I even the people that don't use it right now, they used it once and said, "Yeah, this is pretty fucking broken," and they put it away. Uh it gives your health back. It's probably why the hunter is the besides the arc strider is why the hunter is the most played class, if not subclass, of the game. But Sentinels have done a lot. I've seen Sentinels do a lot of good things. The shield, the Sentinel Titan especially, where you can throw your shield. It's more about I've seen Titans just fly across the map, get ridiculous kills. This is not throwing their shields. This is just up close quarters. Um, it's a very strong class if you know what you're doing and you know how it works. And more details on that. I'll have in-depth videos on exactly what super does what, how it's best used, and not just how it's best used and what I've seen, but maybe you don't want to use Sentinel, maybe you want to use the bubble. I tell you exactly what's best, in my opinion, what's best to use the super with. I break down how you can make every super viable, where you can use it, when you can use it. That way you don't feel like you have to be trapped in what we call the meta. You can use whatever you want, however you want to use it, and have some fun with the game, guys. So after Sentinels, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say Storm is probably the next best super out there. Just the Storm. Now I'm not rating I'm rating every single subclass, but I'm not rating their certain trees specifically, unless I say it like the Sentinel or the Hammers. Um, and again, I'll get into depth in in their own videos respectively as the time comes. So I would say the Storm is the next on the list. Storm can be very versatile depending on the tree you use. I personally recommend Ionic Blink. I know some people use a lot of people use Landfall, which is very powerful, but you got to ask yourself this personally: when you're running Landfall tree, how many times do you run out there and die? Because it's like a smash. So if you can't get a Titan smash off, what makes you think you're going to get a Landfall off, right? Just ask yourself that. If I'm having troubles using my Titan smash, you're probably going to have trouble using your Storm Landfall, right? Now, unless you're waiting around the corner all the time for an enemy to run up on you, then yeah, you're probably getting it 9 times out of 10. You're probably getting the kill with the landfall. But how many of your teammates have died in a trials match before an enemy has wandered around your corner? Right? Granted, we have no radars, so no one knows where anyone's at until we physically see them. Right? Actually, that's not true, and that'll be covered in another video. Woo! All these ideas. I can't wait. All right. So we got the Storm. That brings me to the Smash. I put the Storm above the Smash because the Storm has more range than the Smash. The Smash, it can be more powerful. You almost one-shot everything you come across, super or no. Why? Landfall. If you're running the other skill tree, then you don't. And I don't recommend that in PvP, especially trials. There's only 4 enemies. You kill 1, 2, 3, 4, even with that super. What else are you killing with it? Because so the main perk of the other skill tree is as you kill guys, your super gets extended a little bit, right? Once you go through 4, you're not going through anymore, unless it's survival. And then still, the chances are you get a team wipe from 4. Maybe, depending on the map and your mobility, maybe you get to the other side of the map and you get 1 more kill off. If you're lucky, that 1 kill turns into 4 because they're all clustered and they don't know what they're doing, and you get a lucky smash off. So maybe you got 8, but I personally haven't even done that myself too often. I haven't seen it done too often, so it's probably not as realistic as I would like to think, because that would mean that it would be as much roaming power as Destiny 1 Stormcaller had when you would pop that thing, kill the team. This is 6v6, mind you. Go across the map, kill the team, and maybe you probably get a couple more going back across a map. Almost any map. Like, that shit was ridiculously long. So the Aftermath Smash, though, you can get 4 kills with it. The Aftermath does a lot of damage. By the time you smash, the Aftermath is killing them. You just walk away. Almost walk away and you should be set, right? It depends Save for Sentinels. Sentinels could block through that. I had a Sentinel actually block through my smash and my aftermath, and they defused a bomb on countdown on me. And I was going to smash them again. I just didn't have the time. If I got the second smash off, maybe I should have just R1 them and shoulder charge them and probably knocked them off the bomb. I think that would have worked instead. But at the time, I wasn't in a position to R1 them. I was already in the sky. I had yet to pop my super. I'm like, I need to get this super on the ground as fast as I can, right? So, um, there's like exceptions to the rule, right? But I would rate the Smash next on the list, followed by Nova Bomb. Nova Bomb is pretty powerful. This is all just based on super. I'm not rating these off of the subclass specifically. This is just supers, right? And I would put Nova Bomb next. Now you got the Slova Bomb, the big one that tracks people, and you got the regular Nova Bomb. I've seen more people miss with the regular Nova Bomb, but they use that class because of Devour. Um, and then when it comes down to the super, they miss. Now, and no offense to anyone that's listening to this video that maybe you know who I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about anyone specific. It's just generally I see more people miss with this Nova Bomb. You got to ask yourself this, right? And I'm not asking you to change your I'm not asking you to change your subclass. I'm not saying you should change your subclass if you can't do this, but um just kind of get an idea of how your supers can weigh in on a game. How many times do you miss with your Nova Bomb in a game, but you do so amazing with the rest of your subclass that you kind of didn't need it? That it really didn't play a factor in that game, right? Are you just devouring and murdering everything every round? You know, decent, not only a decent KD on yourself, but you're keeping your teammates alive. And maybe not. Maybe you just have the best KD on the team and your teammates are kind of struggling. But why? Because you got Devour and you always have your health back, right? So, or whatever else you're doing. Maybe your gun skill is just off the charts. The Slova Bomb, it's almost like a guaranteed kill. Depending on how you use it, it can be used out in the open. It's very good. Again, we'll get into specifics upon each subclass and super at a later time. But I would put it there. It's a one and done super. You run in, you see something, you usually Nova Bomb it, and it's done. No matter what skill tree you use. Granted, again, I've seen a lot of people miss even close range Nova Bombs. I don't know why, but that's why we're here. Because down the line, we're gonna learn how to use our Nova Bombs. Granted, if you know me, guys, and you've watched me for a while, I'm famous for whipping my Nova Bombs, right? But I know how to use them. Sometimes I get just messed up luck. Like I Nova Bomb like a tether. You know, I go to shoot a tether and I hit a ceiling, or it hits like some kind of weird ass object that shouldn't have hit. Right? That's sometimes how my Nova Bombs are. And I use the Slova Bomb. I don't use a lot of the other Nova Bomb. I don't like it as much. I like my grenades a little more powerful, and that's personally why I use the Slova Bomb. Even though it drains my super, I get my super back a lot. Faster, I think the Nova Bomb can get a super probably the fastest out of any subclass that I've seen normally, just without trying. Now, I'm not saying that it can. I'm saying that in trials, when I'm just playing the game, a lot of times I've gotten my Nova Bomb fastest 9 times out of 10, I would say, versus my teammates and my enemies. Even when I'm not on like the top of my team with the highest KD, getting all the kills, you know, and I don't have a lot of assists, I'm not doing bad. I'm just at a slower pace, but I get those couple of kills here and there. And for some reason, the Nova Bomb just feels like the Slova Bomb just feels like it gets it super fast, right? And then we're gonna go and put the Tether on the list. The Tether used to be the hardest super to use, in my opinion. Why? Because it's a trap, and people weren't used to that. It does not one-shot anyone. If you go to shoot someone with your Tether, you're probably trading. You go to shoot 2 guys with your Tether and you shoot one in the face, you're definitely dying. Right? Now, if you don't die, you're playing against Mr. Potato Head and his arms fell off. I 9 times out of 10, I like to use 9 times out of 10, right? I like to be as sure as I can be, and I'm almost positive that you're going to die in a 1v2 when you shoot a tether at someone's face. So, um, tether is one of my favorite classes, uh, one of my favorite subclasses to play. I mained that out the gate in D2. I used to do Nova Bomb in D1. I was a Nova Bomb main. I loved it. I went into it in D2. It didn't feel the same. I came across tether. I'm like, wow, this really fits my playstyle. It was overall, it was just like a sneaky trap set playstyle. I loved it. Without the radar, though, it's the whole class has lost 50% of its efficiency, right? Tether's still good, but the tether is still one of the hardest things to use. And that's why I would put it at just above Golden Gun. Golden Gun right now is probably the worst super to use. Why? Because it's not easy to use and it's on a limited clock. You don't have a radar. Golden Gun no longer shines like it used to. You pop that thing and you just go run off in D1, and you could wait probably, what, 15, 20 seconds before that thing ran out. Plenty of time to cap a zone, secure the heavy, get a revive. You had a radar. You kind of knew where people were coming. You don't have a radar here, so it's harder to use, and that's why I'm going to put Golden Gun at the bottom of the list, guys. You have no radar. You got to rely on your teammates' callouts. And even then, they could say, in the room to the left, right? Like, you have only so much time to listen to this sentence that they're about to call out and try to find this enemy as accurately as possible, right? So not only do you have limited time to hear, you got more than one person probably calling out to you. Hopefully they're calling out to you, trying to help you get the enemy team killed. So you kind of got to be, you can either be very defensive with it or very offensive with it, and both are still kind of hard. Even if you're playing defensively, let's say you plant a bomb and you pop your super, you still only have a couple of seconds to use it. The enemy team knows it. You're saving just a few seconds of maybe the enemy doesn't contest it all. They're like, all right, let it run out, which is fine. That's what I would do. I'd be like, all right, they popped the Golden Gun. I have nothing for it. Everyone just chill. Wait the 7 seconds. And I feel like it's not even that long. But wait the 7 seconds or whatever it is and run in there and kill them. And that's why I'm going to put the Golden Gun at the bottom of the list, guys. So this was my first video. Sorry, I'm just sitting in orbit. I would have been just sitting in a private match by myself, but instead I sat here looking at a screen of my ship floating so I could kind of keep my thoughts focused on what I was talking about. Once again, this is just my first video. The second video I'm going to come out with is generalized rules on supers. I'm going to try to keep it as general as possible. I'm going to try to explain how best to use supers. You're going to get gameplay with this. Now, it's not going to be actual clips of my gameplay. As I'm going through and making these videos, I'm going to, when I come across, I'm going to redo any videos that I think could use better quality. This is probably going to be one of them. It's my first. I'm going to come down the line and be like, oh man, I should have put this, in my video. I should have, had these questions answered. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, hey, here's a question I got. Which brings me to a point that I need to bring up right now, and I'll do this in every video. Guys, if you have any questions on what I said about the topic, please let me know in a comment. There will be many different ways to reach me. And I would love to hear your feedback. Sorry, excuse me. I woke up not too long ago, dry throat, and I've been trying to combat that for the past couple hours. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully this video finds you well, and I will catch you very soon with another video. Have a great day.